Hey guys, Slater Magic here. I've got some good news for you, but I do have to follow it up with a little bit of a warning that really isn't a surprise to anybody halfway intelligent, which pretty much describes the people who watch my channel. So I ran the numbers just based on the 8 mythics and I think 28 rares, 22 rares, something like that were available for pre-order on Card Kingdom. I tend to use their prices just because they tend to be pretty spot on with their pre-order estimates. I mean, some people are way the hell off with certain cards, but usually it's kind of an industry-wide thing. I've found that Card Kingdom tends to be the most accurate to use ahead of time, just for like a box EV. And they're usually somewhere between like literally 0% above eBay on launch day or maybe 10% tops. So I do quite like them for accuracy. So I use their pre-order numbers. And by the way, these are all reprints in Modern Masters 2017 edition. So it's not that hard to determine what you think the price will be. The only determining factor is really print volume. So I took only those numbers and pretended that they were all that was being printed in the rare and mythic slot. So doing just the, distributed average with mythics being printed at half prevalence, the mythic slot in a booster is about $12.55. Now, I suspect that they leaked the most expensive, most lucrative rares and mythics. Maybe not mythics, rares. The mythics suck in case you didn't catch it. But the most lucrative rares have probably been released first, and the just dummy filler, $2, $3 rares, 50-cent rares are going to be leaked later. But there was a couple 79-cent rares dragging it down, actually quite a few. So I don't know how accurate that number is, but it's already above the MSRP, and keep in mind, every single pack has a foil in it. Also keep in mind that there's at least 5 or 6 turbo hot uncommons. We're talking $5, $10+. So considering there's 3 per pack, you can't write those off. And even those being printed at foil is huge. I mean, I would suspect those are probably upwards of 20 to 40 even. I mean, look at Fatal Push. God, I think that's still $25, $30 foil or something. It's crazy. Hell, Treasure Cruise at a common slot was about $33 foil back in the day. So every pack's going to be worth $25 after you consider the rest of the card slots, right? So we should all open boxes. No, obviously that's not how it works. While this is a limited print run, the rumor is it's going to be basically the biggest print run ever of any product ever printed. I don't know if that necessarily matches demand, but demand will scale up as the price falls, which provides kind of a cushion. So anybody saying, oh, we're going to predict that the prices are going to hit this, they are utterly guessing. There is nothing to base this on. Nothing like this has ever really truly happened before. Just based on similar things, though, I mean, certain cards, even like Modern Masters 2, I mean, let's go to that. Certain cards are not going to go down almost at all in the first little bit, and some of them might kind of steadily crawl back up after 2 months, which is pretty wild. Other cards might drop $10 to $1. I mean, if it's a fringe card, but it's still, there's not many going around, but not that many people want it, it's being printed at exactly the same prevalence as Damnation. So, So while the price of Damnation might, float down to maybe 20, I don't know, probably not. Any $10 or $5 rare is just gonna flatline. So that makes it awfully hard for people like me who sell singles to actually ship them out and still make a profit, because I'm one of the respectable people who sends it in at least a bubble mailer or box. Other people put it in just a non-machinable envelope and it gets torn apart and they get bent, and it's just stupid. It's not a good idea. It quite literally only saves approximately $2, but if you're selling a set of cards that's worth $1.50 a piece and you're selling a playset that's $6, you don't want to be shaving off $3+ from that when you could just shave off $1. Just the percentage margin on that is insane. But what I tend to do with my bottom end cards is just buy list them. Just send them to a buy list at a bigger vendor, let them deal with it. Honestly, people probably buy their whole decks at a time, so they're not going to just be a dick and order $6 worth of cards. And from people who work there, okay, yes, people do that. Okay, they have told me that. No surprise there. You can't avoid it. But in general, people are, building the whole Commander deck. They order 99 cards or, 50 or whatever. Just a huge volume, so it's not a big deal. So I'm a little worried about cracking these apart. I'm not that worried about the box EV, though, because I think with the amount of playable, commonly played cards that aren't going anywhere anytime soon unless Modern does, and honestly, a lot of these cards are hot in Commander too, so come on. I think the more intelligent investors are thinking, yeah, I mean, right now you can still pre-order a box for 205. It ain't, 182 anymore, but it's 205. I could sit on it for that. And plus, the distributor price is like between, 135-ish, maybe 136, up to like 150, 160, depending upon who you're going through. For that price, yeah, sit on them. I mean, good lord, you could almost just sit on loose packs. You could like open half the box or open the box until you've paid for the box and just leave the rest of the boosters. Not many people buy loose boosters because of, potential mapping and weighing, although mapping in this set, God, I hope not. I doubt they'd make that mistake. And weighing it, well, they all have foils. So, not a big deal, but I don't know. I think a lot of people want seal boxes when they're looking at, boxes of like, can't think of anything. Scars of Mirrodin. I don't think they're going to buy loose packs, but box mapping was huge back then, and you could just put it on a scale and find the foils. So a little bit of a different story. I don't know. I'm not one that hoards products long term, but in general, I think people, whether they open some or don't, or however they end up doing it, they're going to sit on a lot of this. So that's going to eat up a hell of a lot of the supply because if you think about it, these are going to go up over time. I mean, that's a given. If they print this to death, like just absolutely beat the prices down with a hammer, you just wait longer because these cards are all just hugely playable. So anybody with the time, the patience, and I'll say capital, because honestly, credit, no, you don't want to pay interest on this the whole time. Hold it for 5-10 years, guaranteed money. This is such a hot set to sit on. I would not say that about almost anything in Standard right now. So like I said, the more intelligent investors, they're going to sit on this. That's going to help out the price of a box because they're buying them up without really putting the singles on the market or the product, which then at some point somebody opens and turns into singles. So that like $12.55 or whatever it was per rare slot with mythics, it looks good, but assuming that the first wave and the initial supply is virtually limitless because I tend to sell the vast majority of my cards in the first week, that would be bad because people are going to just sell the hell out of these. I mean, if the sky's the limit and the only limiting factor, instead of, we only printed this much, wait for the second and third print wave and the second and third, reinforcements at the distributors. If that's not the limiting factor, the only limiting factor is how quickly can you open the packs and like how quickly can you click on eBay and I don't know, how high is your credit card's limit? That's not good. I don't think the market can soak that up too quick. So I wouldn't just say, day one, here's the box EV, and then not expect it to like fall 50%. That could realistically happen temporarily. I think that Wizards knows this, and they're going to send a first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, just nuts, where they'll keep reinforcing it, but they won't just dump a huge quantity all at once because they know they'll sell better if they sell slowly. A very, very short-term, like week-long artificial scarcity goes a long way. Just ask Pokemon XY Evolutions. Holy crap, they were on Wave 3 before I even got some at all. By the way, I briefly dealt in Pokemon cards. I'm ashamed of it, but I like to talk about mistakes in my past so that you guys can learn from it. I went to a support group, I got help, I don't deal in Pokemon cards anymore. So my warning that I promised at the beginning of the video is just because a box EV will look like 18, 19, 20 a pack on the day of release, don't expect that to be real. I still would draft it just because miracles are freaking awesome and the set looks awesome to draft and all the color fixing is quite good. It just looks fun if you're into that and have the money. But whether you're drafting or you just want to open it to own it, or you just want to open it for fun or for random chance or to see what you can get or for trade or whatever, I would still say yes, don't necessarily wait. I mean, I think the EV is going to be high. If you want to just get the cards you want to get for your trade binder and then immediately buy list the rest, yes, do that in the first week because you get a better price. I mean, the longer you wait, the lower it's going to go, I think, unless Wizards does the opposite of what I think, and that's flood the market like crazy, and it just crashes, then kind of recovers as people start to buy stuff. Because the lower it crashes, the more people are like, I don't know, $5 for Damnation. I mean, $5. Suddenly everybody's an investor and they will buy them right straight back up to whatever, the reasonable market level should be, based on the actual demand. It's just like every time you go to the pawn shop or a garage sale, rummage sale as we call it in Wisconsin, you never knew you needed it until you saw the price tag and suddenly you needed it. I didn't even know I was into golf until they had an entire set of golf clubs with the bag for $2.99 marked down from $20 at the pawn shop. God, was that an ugly colored bag. It was like straight frickin' 80s. The brand was Wilson. I believe that's French. I believe they also make tennis rackets and children's athletic equipment. But for $2.99, guess what? It's like $4.99 to rent the damn clubs. Like I said, really classy golf courses in Wisconsin. They let you rent some quality clubs for $4.99. I mean, it's half the cost of a damn rental. Of course I'm walking out with the damn clubs. I didn't go there to buy any golf clubs. It's just like at the casino. Yes, I just won $340 and I'm still walking away with like 3 books of free matches. They're free. Free is free. I don't even smoke. When do I light a fire? I don't even own candles. I live in an apartment. But guess what? They're free. So the same concept applies. If the cards fall too far, people are just, it's like, how much time does it take them to see the card's price and just happen across it? And that's when the price will go back up. I mean, it's really, that's all there is to it. I mean, if a $40 card hits $10, some people are going to be like, yeah, they're never going to be that low again. And they are absolutely correct. Buy that. Even if you don't need it for a deck, you might need it in the future. Frickin' buy it now, bro. But like I said, I don't think Wizards will do that. I don't think that just flooding the market quicker than anybody can react is a smart idea, because us single sellers can open stuff pretty damn fast. I think they're going to trickle it out wave after wave after wave, and I don't think that they even have necessarily a hard limit on how many they're printing this time. They might even have the time delay set so that they can say, yes, run off another 100,000 right now, put it in wave 6 or something like that. So the best advice I can give you is, yes, it looks like it's worth it, but pump the brakes a little here. They aren't going to be $500 boxes, even if the day before release it says they're going to be $500 EV, because people are going to sell it down to the point, or open the product to the point where it's just barely profitable. I mean, if you could just keep calling up and ordering more, eventually you're going to run out of customers and the prices are going to fall. So that's why I said, if Wizards just goes nuts with the supply, it's going to fall, just not for very long. So overall, don't assume that you're going to make money on it, because it could really get flooded quickly and then stay there if Wizards really goes nuts with it. But I think they're smarter than that. They've been doing a lot of really cautious, let's be careful and make money kind of decisions lately, except for Blank Chase Anthology. The MSRP on that was a disaster of a mistake. It should have been like $80. But I mean, the additional profitability of about 50% and even higher on drafters and MTGO, but masking it and making it really subtle. That was a smart, calculated, subtle thing to make more money. So I think they're being a lot more careful, because there's a lot more, Hasbro breathing down their necks. So if you are going to be more cautious and maybe buy stuff at the right time, if you are concerned about value at all, it'll be pretty easy to spot a bottom in both singles and in sealed product, because, it'll just be like, whoa, look at that price. Yeah, that's when you should buy it. But as far as if you're looking strictly for value and strictly, trying to keep 1 or 2 cards for yourself and just buy list the rest or TCG player them or, whatever, I would just watch really carefully, like every 24 hours. Just watch the sealed box price and watch the average box EV. Also, do not use TCG players' just idiotically inaccurate graphs and stuff. I mean, you could be one person and influence that just to make it look like something it's not, and people are manipulating that on purpose. If you ever see a TCG player high, mid, or low that you think is just absurdly wrong, go to eBay and verify it. 99% of the time, it is wrong. It's completely artificial, and somebody did it on purpose. So that's all the advice I have for now. I have a perfect track record of being 100% correct about this set so far and everything I said, so you might want to listen to my advice. Have fun drafting it. And by the way, if you've got an itch for watching people open stuff and review it and unbox stuff, if you're into that, which I never thought I would be, but I am, you should check out one of my new best friends in the entire world, The Idiot Reviewer, which, by the way, is that not a totally cool name? I mean, come on. I almost wish I would have named myself like The Idiot MTGer, except that's trying a little too hard. That's opening it up to a little bit too big of a target. This guy is totally awesome. You got to check it out just because I watched a couple videos. I think he's great. Also, I am saying this partially because he's a high-level Patreon supporter, which, by the way, I have a Patreon now, so if you're like, hey, I should support Des, yeah, you totally should. And if you're like, hey, I'm as broke as Des, then that's cool. I still love you. And like I always say, you're on the right channel, okay? This ain't the $500 Deck Let's Follow the Pros channel. This is the $30 Deck Let's Make Fun of the Pros channel. I link to his channel down in the description. He's totally awesome if you're into toys, collectibles, and just geeky stuff, you know, kind of stuff you'd see in Loot Crate or from a really cool high-end hobby store or something like that. He likes to unbox them and show them off, review them. It's pretty awesome. So check him out, especially since he's a supporter of me. I always appreciate that, and I will see you guys next video.